Howdy folks, it's Camo here and welcome to the channel. This is, I think they call them vlogs. This is one of my very first ever motorcycle vlog, and it's going to be all about why you should choose a DR650 over anything else. Well, in my opinion anyway. I hope everything comes through and sounds alright, because I'm using an external mic and it's fairly windy today, so I'm not sure how it's going to come out, but hopefully it comes out alright. We're in the lovely Barossa Valley, South Australia, on a almost spring day, last couple of days of winter. As you can see, the Barossa Valley is well known for its wine and vines, and we got plenty of that around here. But today I'm going to take you for a short trip. We're going to head up to a road called Rifle Range Road, and it's a dead end, but it's quite a pretty little drive. So, and in the meantime, I was going to tell you a few things about why I love my DR and why I chose my DR over what I was going to originally choose, which is a huge difference in comparison. I was going to get myself a KTM 1290, and I'm going to tell you why I went for a DR650. The reason why I went for a DR650 was for multiple reasons, one of them being the price. My DR was about 8,000 Australian dollars, and that was right away. And with that, it came with like a kit, and with that kit came a rear rack, bark busters, bash plate, and that was it. But what I did do to make the DR just a little bit more compatible with my needs, which I got the DR for trail riding, not for close, tight, nip riding or anything else like that. I got the DR for long stretches of dirt, long stretches of bitumen. I wanted a bike that was capable of both, comfortable at both, and it didn't cost my first child. Right, so that was one of the reasons. The second reason is because of the maintenance on the bike. It's very little. Now, a quick Google search will tell you its exact servicing requirements, but they're fairly sort of spaced out, and you know, they run a very basic oil, and they run very basic oil filters, which are fairly cheap in comparison to some of the bikes today with the filters that they require, and some of them require multiple filters. So that was another thing. The other thing, obviously, which a lot of people would obviously know if they're looking at getting a DR, would be the fact that they're bulletproof, and they really are. They are dead set bulletproof bikes, unless obviously you ignore their basic maintenance requirements. But when I went to go buy this bike, a gentleman in there was trading in his old DR. It done 88,000 kilometers, and he traded his bike in every 3 to 4 years for a new DR650, and that gives you a bit of a rundown on the life expectancy of these bikes. You know, this bloke did nothing to his bike other than the basic maintenance requirements, and he still was getting 90,000 kilometers, which is absolutely amazing. Another reason is because the parts are like everywhere. You know, you can, if you need to get a spare part, or if you need to get a modification for this bike, all you've got to do is bring up eBay or even your local motorbike dealer, and they usually got something for it, you know, which would be incredibly handy if you wanted to take spares with you, or if you wanted to, you know, if you were stuck somewhere and you had to get something somewhere quickly. There's plenty of opportunities to sort of to get something like that to you quickly, rather than having to wait on an imported part or something like that. But yeah, in saying that, the basic model DR650 is just that. It's incredibly basic. and to tell the honest truth, after hopping off of the KTM 1290 when I was looking at buying one to hopping on the DR650, it was like chalk and cheese. I was instantly put off by the fact that it felt like there was basically no bike there. It was incredibly light. I was used to heavy, which is not a bad thing, being a light bike, but it just felt like there was nothing between your legs. So in my opinion, if you're going to get a DR650 and you're looking at doing something more than just say basic travel route from A to B, you know, on a bitumised road, then you need to spend some money on it. You don't need to spend a heap, but you do need to spend a little bit of money on it to get it up there where you sort of would expect a bike of this nature to be. So what are the things that I've done to my DR650 that have made it an incredibly comfortable bike and a relatively good bike to go just about anywhere in Australia? And I'm not talking, you know, doing 100 mile an hour around a close tight-knit track. It's not made for that, it really isn't. But if you wanted to hop on this and travel around Australia, you could do it tomorrow and there'd be no issues. And it wouldn't cost you all that much either. So what have I done? Well, the list is long and I don't have a list with me, as you can well tell I'm writing. I'll try and remember everything that I've done to it. But it was definitely under a couple thousand. Apart from this thing here, the Trail Tech was 1,000 in itself, but that's not needed. I got that because that's something that I wanted, but definitely not needed. So let's start off. Obviously the factory requirements, or the factory parts that came with the bike were bark busters, a rear like luggage holder, a bash plate, genuine bash plate, and that was it, I think. So I got an exhaust, as you can hear. Well, I don't know if you can hear it, but there you go, you can hear that. I've got a Yoshimura RS3 exhaust on this bike. It's only the slip-on, it's not the full length. The header on these are apparently pretty good. But if you get an exhaust, you definitely want to de-restrict the bike, open up the air box, and get the carby ported as well. Lets more fuel in, lets more air in, happy days. Obviously that equals more power. So I got that done. Porting in the carby, de-restricted the air intake, and obviously the slip-on exhaust, which makes a huge difference straight up. And it sounds, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Whoa, if that doesn't get you hard, nothing will. What else did I do to it? As you can probably well see, I got myself a wind visor here. Now that was a personal preference. Not everyone likes wind visors, and not all wind visors look good on bikes either. You know, how's that view? How's that? Hey? Crikey, beautiful. But we'll keep going anyway. But yeah, the wind visor is perfect for me. I actually got that off of eBay. It came from, I think, Poland or something like that. But it's awesome. 4 bolts on, and it's just the right height to protect all my electrical equipment. And it's just the right height to just buff the wind up and over my helmet, which is exactly what I wanted. So if it was raining or something, I'm sure it'd deflect the rain around the electronic equipment here. I'm hoping, because I haven't taken it out with it rain yet. It's only relatively fresh, this bike. It's only done 700. But that was definitely one of the things I did. The front mud guard, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's a little bit short. Well, the original mud guard that comes on it is bloody hopeless. You know, if you go through a creek bed relatively quickly, it washes out. You can hear it tapping and scraping. So I got myself a aftermarket Supermoto Acerbis front mudguard, and it fits just beautifully. Obviously you have to screw, you know, drill them out to fit them on, but yeah, isn't that beautiful, guys? Look at that. Jeez, I tell you what, it wouldn't be all that nice to live up here in summer though. You imagine how quick a fire would scream up these hills, wouldn't it? But in winter, God, look at that. Beautiful country. Alright, what else have I done? I've got to stop getting carried away here. Oxford heat guards, awesome. Never had them before, but I thought, bugger up, I'm getting old. I don't want to be restricted in, you know, going out when it's cold and that. So I thought, well, I'll get these. They're only $100. Fitted them, beautiful, awesome. The maximum I've had them on is 75%, and I tell you what, my gloves felt like they're on fire. So they work incredibly well, and they only draw about 3.84 amps at full load. So that's what, 40 watts or something like that at 12 volts. So it's not too bad. Swapped all the lights over to LED, including the front. So I kept the original front headlight, but just swapped the actual lights over to LED. And the reason why I did that was, one, the lights that come with it are absolutely shocking, and two, I needed to be careful of my power consumption, because when I was throwing on heated grips and all this electronic equipment, I was going, shit, I'm going to start bloody going over my power consumption here, and I don't want to end up with a flat battery, because these things don't have kickstarters on them. It's alright if you stop on a hill, but if you don't, you're in a bit of strife, aren't you? What else did I get done? I swapped the original tyres over to Dunlop's, I think they're D606s, front and rear. The original tyres that come on these things aren't worth a pinch of you know what. So definitely a must. If you're just doing highway Ks on it, then that's fine, you keep the originals, but you go off-road with them and they're suicide. So I did that. Most of my driving's off-road, well, not really off-road, I guess you could just say roads like this, but isn't this beautiful through here, guys? That was another thing I did. What else did I do? I added USB charging points all around the bike, so I could charge my cameras, charge my GoPro, charge anything that requires USB charging. So I've got them front and rear. Obviously I've added a couple of GPSs in here. I've added the Trail Tech, which is awesome, definitely worthwhile doing. If you're gonna get one, maybe flick me a PM, or maybe I might do a video depending on how well this one goes on it, because I tell you what, I had some strife with it at the very beginning. But yeah, awesome bit of kit now that I've actually got it working. I've got an external GPS antenna on that. It comes with a really good one, but with all this electronic equipment here, it was starting to fail a bit. So I've got one that runs down and comes out the back of my bum and the back underneath the luggage carrier. So I've got really good reception. It gives you your voltage, engine temp, the Ks you're doing, and it gives you tons and tons of options. And if you have a couple of mates that use them, you can link them two together and you can use it to watch each other where they are on the track and all sorts. It's bloody awesome. TomTom Nav Rider, awesome bit of kit, waterproof. All these things here are waterproof, apart from obviously the iPhone, but that's should be alright where it is. Hopefully it would be relatively protected from the water. What else? So yeah, awesome bit of kit. I got this one here mainly for you know, suburban driving, and this one here is more so for your country, even though both are really good in both sections. This one here's got a lot more detail. Oh, should we go down there? Oh yeah, I reckon we should. I think it's another dead end. It's no through road, but it's bloody, oh, hey, you hear that? Whew, damn. I love this Yoshimura exhaust. It gives really good tunes. Really, really good tunes. Now, when I was looking at buying this bike, I hopped on YouTube and there wasn't a huge amount of videos relating to, like, I had a few questions set in my mind and I couldn't really get an answer on it. One of them was, does this bike, is it comfortable at 110 kilometers per hour on the highway? I don't know what that is in miles, but it'd be what, 92, 93 mile an hour or something? I don't know. 110, absolutely no problems whatsoever. Standard gearing, 110 every day of the week, not a problem. You can flick it up to 120, 130 overtaking, no issues whatsoever. Past 130, it really starts to sort of pitter out a bit. Like, it'll keep going, but it just doesn't have that bite that you'd expect it did, you know, back in its, you know, 100, 110 kilometer range, if that makes sense. But yeah, no problems whatsoever. So that was one of the things that I was trying to find out, because I didn't want a bike that was underpowered. I know it's a 650 and I know it's, you know, it's a big bore on that, but I was like, shit, you know, like I've had a DRZ400 before and I know at 110 that thing was just singing, and I didn't want to make that same mistake again. 110, no problems whatsoever. The other thing that I've got on this bike is a larger Acerbi's fuel tank. So this is a 20 litre. I think you can go up to 25 or even 30. I went the 20 litre because I didn't want too much weight at the front. Now I did this at the very beginning, and I'm pretty sure my numbers are right. I did 380, I think, before I had to hit reserve, or maybe it was 330. Either way, with reserve, I'm confident I could hit 400 kilometers before I had to refill. That's 20 litres, so that's pretty good if you work the maths on that. Yeah, it's good going for a big bore, that is. Oh shit, it's a bit slippery. Oh, could you imagine a fire down here? Look at this road. I don't know if it really does it at all, but that's hell steep. See if I can get some popping for you. Hey, have a listen to that. Whoa. Oh. 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 I don't know. I don't think you can beat that, can you? That big fucking popping, farting noise. God damn, I love that. You know, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with a two-stroke or, you know, your horizontals or, you know, your 4 cylinders, but I don't know. There's something about a single bore, big single bore, that just, when it's popping and farting, it just sounds good, you know? Something about it. But yeah, this is beautiful down here. I've only been down here a couple of times, but hell, it's nice. Wouldn't it be beautiful if you could own some land here? No doubt it'd be worth an absolute fortune, but anyway. What else have I done to the bike? Right, the seat on it isn't all that comfortable. A lot of people go and spend lots of money on getting the seat upgraded and this and that. Well, I did a heap of research. Once again, there's not a huge amount of research out there, but I went and got myself a sheepskin cover. Now, a lot of you are going to laugh and go, oh geez, how old is this bike? Well, hear me out. They breathe. If they get wet, you just run your hand over them. They're not wet anymore. They don't let your butt cook in summer. They don't get hot, and they're about 1.5 inches thick. And I tell you what, I can ride on this bike all day now. Before, 2 hours and my butt was hurting. Now, no problem. I do 3-4 hour rides, hop off and think nothing of it. It's awesome. Whoa, hey? Something about that. Something about it. Well, not much of a view here, but I'll take you back to that original spot where there was a really good viewing of the Barossa Valley. Right, what else have we done? Oh, I lowered the foot pegs. So there's a kit on eBay, an Australian bloke makes them, I think, manufactures them. And what it does is it drops the foot pegs down by 1 inch and it brings them back 1.5 inches. It just makes your legs that much more comfortable. The original setup, they're really quite like forward. And I found that I've got, say, size 12 boots. My boots were sort of tapping on the brake and they were tapping on the gear lever. And that's not a good thing, is it, really? You know. But yeah, doing what I've done now, I've just got a bit more room there for my legs to sort of move around and that. But that's definitely a must in my eyes. What else have I done to this bad boy? Oh, it'd have to be something else, I'm sure of it. I've done so many bloody things to it. I've got a little carry bag on the front fender, and that's just got a first aid kit and a couple of tyre levers. I don't know if you can see there, a Ballard's one. Handy to have. They come standard with... Oh shit, that was a bit slippery. They come standard with like a little luggage carrier in the back, but that's not worth a pinch of shit in my eye. What else have I done? Oh, you can probably see the woolen lamp here. See? Very nice, very nice. I'm trying to think what else I've done. The list is long. I'll get home and I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't say that, or I didn't say this, or I didn't say that. I didn't touch the handlebars. I sort of wish I did. I wish that I upgraded the handlebars to, you know, Renthal or something like that. Because no doubt as soon as I come off this one day, they're just going to twist, because they're just the standards. But I can't really go and easily change them now that I've got the Oxford heated grips, because they're all on there permanently. So yeah, it's going to be, the day it happens, I'm going to be spewing, because I'm going to have to go and replace, you know, the whole handlebar. And oh god, yeah, I should have done it from the beginning. So if you're going to do it, make sure you do that before you get your Oxford grips. Upgrade your handlebar, because the stocks aren't not worth having on the bike. That's one thing that I wish I did. there's a bit of handy information for you. I'm going to hop off the bike up here. Just up here there's a little, you know, little lookout zone. Show you some of the beautiful Barossa Valley, because it is gorgeous this time of the year. During summer it's fairly bland and bleak, but yeah, this time of the year it's really, really nice. And I'll show you some video footage of the actual the bike and what it looks like. Now, some of you guys probably won't really think much of the front visor here, but you either will like it or you won't. And when I first put it on, I thought, oh god, geez, that doesn't look too good. But you know what? It's sort of grown on me a bit now. And from the rear, it looks great. From the front, it looks a bit awkward because it's grey and black. But I mean, the whole bike's grey and black, so look, it's grown on me. Like most things on a bike, you put it on, you go, oh geez, I don't know about that. And then after a couple of weeks, you go, oh, it's not too bad. What are you complaining about, sort of thing. Jeez, it's bloody blowing a gale here. You wouldn't think it, would you? The trees are nice and still, but we've got some nasty winds coming this afternoon. That's why I tried to shoot out today to get this done. But yeah, let's pull up here and we can have a bit of a look at the bike, and I'll see if I've forgotten anything. No doubt I have. Let's have a bit of a look. I've remembered one thing already. I swapped the little LEDs over in the Speedo, because the little Speedo comes with like a standard, you know, just a standard light, and I swapped it over to LED, and it's incredibly bright. A couple bucks off of eBay. Good old eBay. What would you do without it, eh? Is it going to stay? So yeah, oh, there you go. MC Performance, another thing off of eBay. An oil guard to protect your oil cooler. Definitely. You get a rock in there, it's game over. Yeah. There's a little GPS. Oh, RS2, sorry guys, not RS3. Put the stickers on. They came from Switzerland, I think. But yeah, that's about it. It's a fairly sort of stock sort of looking bike, but it, you know, it's bloody bulletproof. They really are. Oh, I'll put a couple of little lights on. That's what I did. Yeah, little front lights, and they fit just perfectly too. But yeah, tell me what you think, guys. Anyway, she's I've had a few bikes. As I said, I had a DRZ 400. I had a XR 600, which I bought out to a 630. KTM 690. I've had a Kawasaki Z1000. What else have I had? Harley Davidson. But you know, I just didn't want to get restricted. I wanted a bike that I could go anywhere and everywhere with, you know. And I wanted a bike that I could do it and not have to bloody cost an absolute fortune to do. So that's why I went the DR. But let me know how I went anyway, guys. If there's anything you want to ask me, you know, I'm no motorcycle mechanic, but I can give you my point of view or my opinion, let you know what I think. But great bike, guys. They're letter illegal approved. They don't have a huge amount of power, but they've got enough to do, get you out of the, you know, get you out off the beaten track and have a bit of fun. And that's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, life's short, you've got to enjoy yourself. But yeah, nah, give us a holler, drop us a message, let me know how I went. This is my very first vlog, as I said before. And if it doesn't go too well, then I probably won't do another one. But if it does, then I'll keep doing them, and I've got a couple of trips planned coming up. We're looking at heading about 300-400 kilometres north. Going to head up basically just at the foot of the ranges. It's going to be an awesome trip doing that with the father-in-law. Got a few other trips coming up too. Going to take the wife down the back hills of Adelaide and down through the beach. So yeah, if it's any good, let us know and I'll keep recording them. And yeah, if you've got any doubts in your mind, take a DR for a test ride, but keep in mind that with the modifications that I've done to this bike, it has completely changed the bike, and I mean 100%. It is not the bike that I took for a test ride. It's not the bike that I threw my leg over in the showroom floor. You know, yeah, you spend a couple grand on it, and seriously, it is an absolute weapon. And some people will say, oh, have you touched the suspension? No, I haven't. I haven't touched the suspension. I'm not looking at doing rallies or anything. Is the stock suspension on it alright? It is. If you want to really load it up, or if you're a big guy, you'd probably have to do something about it. if you're gonna, you know, do say some rallies with it or something like that where you need that extra travel and that response, you'd have to definitely spend some money on it, because the suspension that comes with it isn't all that fancy. For what I do, it's okay, but I've taken it through some sort of creeks relatively quickly, and when I've done it, you know, I've washed out a few times, I've washed the suspension out a few times, and I've bottomed it out, and I'm thinking, well, you wouldn't want to be doing that too often. You know, you probably end up doing damage to the bike. So it'd be definitely something that you'd have to look at changing in the future. But yeah, I hope I've helped someone make a decision about getting the DR. As I said, cheap to buy, great fun, bulletproof bikes. They've been around forever. There's parts everywhere, and if they put a smile on your dial, who cares? That's the main thing, right? Alright, no worries guys, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one. Catch you around.